Hi everyone, it's Norm here. On today's episode, we're going to be learning about the second warbler that makes our species at risk list, the Canada Warbler. This is yet another colorful bird that we can find here in the tall grass prairie natural area. So stay tuned to learn more. When trying to ID warblers here in southeastern Manitoba, the first thing that I like to do is look for unique characteristics. So the first thing that I notice on the Canada Warbler is that distinct black necklace. Now, some other warbler species do have black markings around the neck as well, but I find the Canada Warblers to be the most pronounced. Another ID feature would be the light colored eye ring. Some warblers have this as well, but it can be a good secondary ID feature. Then we move on to more obvious traits, such as the overall long tail, round head, round breast, at least compared to the other warblers in the area. And then the most obvious, which is of course color. Most warblers have that beautiful yellow coupler, which of course the Canada Warbler has on its breast, and then the backside is that nice slate gray color. So for some bird watchers, they might want to reverse my order that I just did, starting with the easiest things to see like color, working their way to body shape, then those unique characteristics. Whichever way you choose, there's no wrong way to do bird watching. It is a little ironic that the Canada Warbler's time spent in Canada is actually quite short, usually no more than June to beginning of September. Maybe the reason it got that name Canada Warbler is because over 80% of the breeding happens throughout its Canada range. So in June, these birds will arrive from eastern BC to Nova Scotia, and they're in search of wet mixed wood forest with a dense understory. That dense understory is ideal for them to be nesting in, usually on or near the ground where they lay their eggs. When the eggs hatch, the chicks are fed relentlessly. Flies, insects are usually the prey of choice. By the beginning of September, the young have fledged and they are on their way south, migrating at night, resting during the day. The end goal is to get to the cloud forests and deep jungles of Central America and South America. Usually they prefer elevations of 500 to 2,500 meters. So that's a big difference from their time spent here in the tall grass prairie natural area in the summer. Since records have been kept, there has been roughly 70% loss of Canada Warbler throughout their Canadian range. So there are some species-specific issues that these birds face. For example, that short breeding period does not leave much room for error. So if the nest is predated on, or if a cold snap hits, killing off the eggs or chicks, the adults don't have time to start thinking about a second clutch. Instead, they're going to be thinking about their migration south. Speaking of migration, there is that long overnight migration. That means that the Canada Warbler is susceptible to collisions with man-made structures. So this species, along with all other Canadian species, is estimated that over 25 million birds per year lose their lives crashing into buildings, windows, and even more, millions more, lose their lives colliding in power lines, communication towers, wind turbines, and the list goes on and on. So that is a real concern for the Canada Warbler. There are some more of the usual suspects when it comes to our prairie area species reasons for loss, such as insect prey loss and habitat loss. Habitat loss is especially important when we're talking about the overwintering areas in those high elevation cloud forests and jungles of South America, where over 90% of suitable habitat for Canada Warbler has disappeared. Due to the varied threats throughout their international range, there needs to be a great collaboration of countries to come together and conduct research, surveys, and to commit to protecting habitat. If we can achieve this, the Canada Warbler will not lose its place among us. Thanks everyone for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time.